kind of same question, right? But just to sweep LSU for the first time since '88, I know it's pretty historic. But just as far as the momentum that gives you guys moving forward, just how big is that?
It was great. I had no idea until George let us know that. It was my senior year of high school, so I was alive. So it was. I just, you know, the only thing I enjoyed was how the guys just played together. It just seemed like the defense was buttoned up. The pitching staff, hopefully they can take confidence. We're only at the halfway point. We've been swept, and that's powerful, I think, to get a sweep. We look at a first half and we get set toward a second half, and then, you know, our bats. I think Ike had a huge play early in the ball game and got a big hit off, and just, you know, everybody contributed there. Snow's big swing last night, but just up and down. We got some hits tonight, and we scored early. Seems like we've kept that trend, and we knew, you know, after you beat those guys in every offensive category, they're in the top 10, and that pitching staff, they didn't give up an earned run last week in the entire weekend. And we knew that they had their two relievers. We knew Cowan and Evans was going to be in there, and Shores that's about as the lowest slot right-hander. Those right-handed bats were tough, and that sink and that ride and being in the mid to upper 90s. But Ike and Cooper McMurray, we had great approaches. So we got the runs early, and I kept thinking the last 2 days it would be more and more offense on both sides. But it turned into some great pitching performances. Dylan Watts, I go back to Tuesday, and then today was great. Griffin Graves has been coming for us the last 2 weeks, and he kept coming today. Alvarez, a true freshman, and it's only one hit, and it's not perfect yet. He pitches himself into a little bit of trouble with some free stuff, but they couldn't get the big hit, or didn't get the big hit, and they're so capable and have been, and will continue to be a great team. But for this weekend, our guys came together and played in every facet. Great baseball, sound baseball. LSU was going to have to beat them for the most part. And then our crowd, the largest series ever at home, it all just came together and synced up this weekend.
Butch, you talked about the pitching, but to do that on a Sunday against that offense with those guys, I mean, what's that say about those three guys, first of all, and then how important is that moving forward for this team?
Yeah, I just I know what we're up against. I still think we got 3, 5, 6 or something. It's going to be the same every other day, but hopefully there's some just confidence taken from passing the baton. That's been a challenge for us. Some, you know, and for them to be able to lock it down and be able to go low like this, you know, a lot of times you would say, man, you know, four's not enough, or 3's not enough in college baseball this day and time. So the pitching staff really stepped up, and I just want them to carry confidence moving forward of what they can do. So I think we can look back and teach off this, and you know, it's still not perfect. You know, there's a couple of base running things, or some at-bats and moments, and even pitches and decisions. But nonetheless, I think these guys are super excited to play well in front of the home fans this weekend.
Butch, the job that Griffin Graves did in the fifth there, coming on second and third, no outs, and getting out of it.
I was just managing the game. I was trying not to let my feelings and emotions get into it. I didn't know if they were going to score 1, and I'd probably been okay, or if they were going to get 2, or if they were going to reel us in and tie it. But he just absolutely came in and just made enough pitches. I agree with, I think Dylan Watts said that it's just a different fastball, and I think him behind Alvarez is a good look. And I think it takes a second to adjust, and whether he got the strikeout or the pop-up, just got him in between for a second to get us out of that inning. That's huge momentum, and we know we had that twice yesterday with the bases loaded, so don't always get that every weekend, but this weekend we did.
Kind of, you know, similar to that, on that strikeout in the 5th inning with the bases loaded, did it feel like that was almost kind of the story of the weekend in a sense for you guys, where just kept being able to win those moments, you know, when they had chances and you guys were able to get out of it?
Well, you never think it's over. I think in one of our conference games yesterday, a team was up 12-3 and lost. And that is, they were really close to the 10-run deal. That's happened to us before. Just college baseball, you have to play to the end. I will say I didn't think 3 runs would be enough today. When we scored to 3, I'm like, we're here for the long haul. And then, to your point, for your question, when Griffin got out of that, it started feeling possible. We started getting to the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th inning, started getting a little bit closer, and that was a moment there that I thought, like, I can see a path here. If he can give us a couple more, we can get a little bit deeper into this thing and keep a lead. Because you know at some point a great team's going to answer, and you know, they did. I think it's second, third, they get a ground ball with the infield back to get the 2 outs, and they deserved the run, and we let them have it because you're just playing the game there. And then a great approach by a left-handed hitter to go backside with the runner at third. I really wanted to get out of that 3-1 and would have felt great in the 8th. But if he hadn't got out of that earlier on, you know, they'd have caught us, especially have not scored any more runs. So it gave a little cushion, not much, but they wound up when they had their moment and they played their offense, and they did a great job, you know, getting that run in, and then the backside really made it a 1-run ball game. If Griff hadn't have been able to do that, they'd probably caught us.
But you talked about this team, how much you like them, how much they worked. Is today one of those days where it shows up because they just kind of stayed the course, and it's easy to kind of maybe lose it on a day like this where you're going for a sweep or trying to avoid one, and they just kind of kept plugging?
Yeah, I've been great with this team, and I think I've told everybody, and I'm like, everybody's like, yeah, we'll wait and see. But they've just given us consistent effort. I think these guys are bought into one another really good. They've showed up early. They've continued to work, and as their coach and with them every single day, I love to see them be able to have a moment like this. There's many challenges to come, and like I said, we're only at the halfway point. But for a weekend, these guys absolutely. Everybody else got to see what I have been able to see, and the coaches have been able to see every day of how these guys just continue to fight and hang together, and they're close. Our dugout's great, our locker room's great. That's the key to keeping hope, and they've been amazing with that. And then to see them go out there and beat it's the last 2 weekends here at home, it's been great. Going 2 weeks on the roads back to back is not for the faint at heart. The LSU is just finishing that, and that Kentucky, Georgia, the little rendezvous we went on, that's not for the faint of heart 2 weeks in a row in this league. And it was nice to get to come back home against 2 top 10 teams and have success. So I think LSU just walked through that door as well. That's a tough one in this league. So glad those are over. We got to go and now volley back and forth with being away and being home the rest of the way these last 5 weeks. But yeah, I think everybody got a sense and feel what this club's all about, a little flash of what could be from this weekend.